Hello everybody and welcome to week 5. Let me apologize in advance if we are interrupted by a giant black dog. Normally I shut him out of the room when I record videos, but it's very, very hot in here and I've had to leave the doors open for circulation. Anyway, there are 4 things I want to talk about in this announcement for the beginning of week 5. I want to talk about the midterm, of course. That's, I'm sure, what is primarily on your mind. I want to talk about the forum for this week and the topic for the forum. I want to talk about the project and answer some questions that I've been getting that I think other people are probably wondering about as well, and then talk a little bit about what we have coming up. So first of all, the midterm. The midterm is on Blackboard. If you've not taken an online class before, but you've taken other classes, maybe by video conference that utilized Blackboard exams, this works pretty much the same way. If you have not taken a Blackboard exam before, what you'll do is you'll go in under the week 5 course content folder and there will be a link that you click on that will say midterm. And then that will take you through the steps of question by question until you're done and ready to submit. The midterm is a mix of short answer scenario type questions that are a little bit like the homework questions, in the sense that it gives you a little case, in this case fictional, and asks you to come to a conclusion and justify your answer. Now, I can give partial credit on these, so please make sure you explain why. If you just give me yes or no, even if you're right, you won't give full credit because you won't have shown how you came to that conclusion. And if you get the wrong answer, if it should be yes and you say no and don't give me any explanation, then I can't give you any points at all for it. Along those lines, please don't leave anything blank. If you put nothing down, there's no chance of you getting any points. If you put something down, there's a chance of maybe you getting some partial credit. So in addition to the short answer question, there's some multiple choice and true false, and those should be really pretty straightforward. Nothing I put on exams is designed to be a trick question, so read everything, take everything at face value. There's nothing that you're supposed to be reading into the questions that isn't outright stated there. Now, the midterm will come available, actually by the time you see this video, it probably will already be available. It comes available at midnight on Sunday of week 5, and it will close Saturday night at 11:59 p.m. So you have a week to complete the midterm. However, once you start the midterm, you must complete it in that sitting. You cannot leave the midterm and come back to it. So please make sure that you're in a comfortable location with a good internet connection, and that you have the time and a conducive environment for completing that exam. This is a closed book exam. Of course, since you're all taking this at home, this really is on your honor. However, I will be very aware, especially with these short answer questions, for anything that looks like it may have been plagiarized or copied. The same rules apply here. Academic honesty is academic honesty is academic honesty. So, please do this on your honor as a closed book exam. You will not see your final grade immediately, of course, because I have to grade the short answer questions, but I think I have it set up right, so that you'll be able to see how you did on the multiple choice and true-false questions immediately. Please let me know if you have any questions before you sit down to take the midterm exam. It's not a good situation to be sort of halfway through it, realize there's an issue, and then frantically try and get in touch with me. I try and be as available as I can, especially during the week of the midterm, but I can't guarantee I'm always going to be available, at a moment's notice. Let's see, I think that's all for the midterm. Of course, let me know if you have any questions. So I want to move on then to talking a little bit about the topics for this week, especially as they relate to the forum. Just to provide a little bit of extra explanation, in case the instructions aren't 100% clear. So what you need to do for this forum is you need to look in your book at the different types of business entities, sole proprietorships, partnerships, LLCs, the different types of corporations. You have limited liability partnerships now too, as well, public benefit corporations. There's a lot of them out there. Then I want you to think about a business you might like to start someday. This could be something maybe you actually intend to do at some point with your business degree, or just something that at one point in your life you thought, it would be cool to start a business doing whatever. If you've never thought that, make something up. Make up a business that might interest you at some point in the future. Then I want you to consider, given the structure of that business, the type of business it is, which of those business entities would be the best fit. I'll give you an example. I own a small martial arts school. A very, very, very small martial arts school. In fact, it was kind of just an unofficial get-together of people for its, in its early stages of life. However, there came a point where I needed to make it an official business. It needed to be, have the name registered, I needed to have a business license, and so on. So I had to think about what I wanted to do with that. How did I want to structure my business? And so I looked at things like liability. Martial arts, kind of high liability field, there's a lot of risk of people getting hurt. So what are the risks? What are the benefits of doing various types of formation? And where do I think and where do I see this business growing? And that's the second question I ask in the forum. If your business grows, your fictional business, say it's very successful, best you could hope for, would your choice for incorporation or corporate formation change if your business got bigger? Now, you can change your business entity format, along the way. A lot of small sole proprietorships have, some have ended up as major corporations, so at some point they did switch their format. So think about what you might consider doing with that in the future as well. And then for your response, I want you to look at least one of your classmates' projections of what they would do and why, and critique that. Either agree with them or disagree with them, and say why. What do you see as being the benefits and risks of their choice, and do you think they have done that analysis well and come to the correct conclusion? Okay, next topic, the project. So I've had several questions about the draft and the final project and what exactly the draft is supposed to be. Now keep in mind, this still isn't due for another couple of weeks. So we'll have more time to talk about this. Plenty of chances still to ask questions. The draft basically is the first stage of your final project. It is what will become your final project. It's what you will end up turning in at the end of week 9. Now, ideally, your draft should be as close to a final product as possible. And that's because I will be looking over your drafts when you turn them in. And I will go through, I will give feedback, I will make comments, make corrections, suggest things that you should maybe do or not do. And then I will return those to you with my corrections. And then what you'll need to do for the final project, of course, is go through and look at those suggestions, look at those corrections, and make any changes that are necessary. The goal here really is to sort of give you a pathway for getting an A on this project. They are not separate papers. It is one paper going through 2 stages. So the best thing you can do to get the most feedback from me is to give me as close to a final product as you can. If you turn in, a skeleton outline, or you give me 1 page about one case, there's only so much help I can give you, and you'll be sort of on your own for figuring out the rest of it for what you finally turn in. So the more you can give me, the better. I've also had questions about where to start with research. There are a couple of places. I talked about this a little bit in the first Collaborate session, but I like Google Scholar as a good first place to start. If you go to scholar.google.com, there's actually an option on that search engine to search for case law, which is searching for cases. So put your topic in there and see what you find, see what's interesting. And Google Scholar has various features where you can look for other cases that are similar to one. So if you find one that strikes your fancy, you can look for other cases that either refer back to that case or may contain similar content or similar issues to that case. Okay, finally, I wanted to mention upcoming office hours, of course, are Thursday at 4 Eastern Time, so that's 5 Central Time. I know some of you are on the Central Time Zone. And our next Collaborate session, which will be coming up not this week, but next week in week 6 on August 2nd. So please make sure that's on your calendar. It'll be August 2nd at 10:30 in the morning Eastern Time. And if you can, try and be there. If not, please make sure that you watch the recording. And as before, there will be a short quiz after that Collaborate session to get some points towards participation if you can demonstrate that you did in fact watch it. Okay, I will talk to you all later. Look for homework review coming up on Tuesday. And please let me know if you have any questions on the midterm exam.